Speaking English is a physical skill, not just a mental one. Most people think that speaking English is just about knowing words and grammar. They focus only on vocabulary lists, textbooks, and memorization. But have you ever met someone who scores well on tests but struggles to speak in real conversation? That's because speaking is not just a matter of knowledge, it's a skill, a physical one. Imagine a dancer who has watched thousands of videos on ballet, who knows all the steps by name, but has never actually danced. On stage, she would freeze. Her body wouldn't move the way it needs to, not because she doesn't know the dance, but because she hasn't trained her muscles. It's exactly the same with English. Your tongue, your lips, your jaw, they're all part of the speaking process, and they're used to your first language. They have spent years moving in a certain rhythm, using certain sounds. When you try to speak English, your mouth has to move in a new way. That's hard, that's unfamiliar, and that's why many learners struggle, even when they understand what they want to say. To become fluent, you must train your mouth to move with English sounds, English patterns, English rhythm. This is not something you can do just by thinking or reading. You need to speak out loud. You need to repeat, to practice, to build muscle memory. The great thing is, your mouth can learn. Just like a piano player's fingers learn to hit the right keys, your mouth can learn to form English words naturally, but only if you treat speaking like a physical activity. That means daily repetition. That means making mistakes, feeling awkward, and doing it anyway. Once your mouth is trained, you won't need to think so hard before you speak. The words will come more easily, your pronunciation will improve, and you'll feel more confident in conversation. But it starts with understanding this. Fluency lives in your muscles, not just your mind. Would you like me to continue to the second key insight? Your mouth muscles must be trained like any other part of your body. Think about this. When someone wants stronger arms, they don't just read about lifting weights. They go to the gym, they pick up dumbbells. They repeat the motion again and again. At first, it feels awkward, it hurts, but over time, the muscles respond. They grow, they remember, and the same thing happens when you train your mouth to speak English. Many English learners underestimate this part. They think that speaking will automatically come once they understand grammar or learn more vocabulary. But your brain can't carry the whole load. Your mouth has to keep up, and for that, it needs exercise. Deliberate, focused, daily exercise. You might be wondering, what kind of exercise? Simple. Repeating useful English sentences out loud every single day. Not once, not twice, but 10 times, 20 times, until your lips and tongue get used to moving in that new way, until the sound of English becomes something your body recognizes. You don't need a language lab. You don't need fancy apps. You just need your voice, your mirror, a little time, and the willingness to sound silly at first. Because yes, it will feel uncomfortable. Your mouth might stumble. Your pronunciation might be off. But that's okay. That's part of the process. You are training muscles that have never worked this way before. Over time, those muscles become stronger, clearer, more confident. You begin to speak with rhythm, with ease. You no longer think about each sound. You just say it. Just like how you don't think about walking anymore, you simply walk. That's what speaking fluently feels like. And it all begins with training your mouth just like an athlete trains their body. Shall I continue with the third insight? Repetition is your greatest ally in fluency. The truth is, your brain doesn't learn a new skill the first time it sees it, or the second, or even the third. Real learning, the kind that sticks, happens when you repeat something so often that it becomes natural, automatic, effortless. Repetition is not boring, it's powerful. And when it comes to learning to speak English, repetition is everything. Think about how babies learn to talk. They don't memorize grammar rules. They don't study sentence structures. They just hear the same words and phrases again and again. Milk, come here. Good job. They hear these every day, hundreds of times, until one day they begin to say them too. That's the power of repetition. It turns sound into speech, confusion into confidence. When you repeat English sentences aloud, you're not just practicing. You're programming your brain and mouth to work together. You are creating strong pathways, like well-worn roads in your mind. And the more you walk those roads, the faster and easier they become. Repetition also builds rhythm. Every language has its own music, its own beat. You can't think your way into that rhythm. You have to feel it. And feeling comes from saying it again and again until your tongue dances to the right beat without you even realizing it. That's why shadowing, listening to and repeating native speakers, is such a powerful practice. You hear, you echo, you train, not once, but over and over, until one day you stop copying and start speaking from your own mouth, your own voice. So never be afraid of repeating the same sentence 20, 30, even 50 times, because every time you say it, you're getting closer to fluency. You're building the muscle. You're owning the language, one repetition at a time. Would you like me to continue to the fourth insight? Practice with real sentences, not just words. Imagine trying to build a house using only bricks, but no cement, no blueprint, no structure, just piles of bricks. That's what it's like when you try to learn English by memorizing words alone. Vocabulary is important, yes, but words by themselves don't teach you how to speak. Sentences do. A sentence is a living unit of communication. It has meaning, flow, tone, and purpose. When you practice full sentences, you're learning how to use the language, not just store it. You're training your brain to think in English, not just translate word by word from your native language. And the best part is, sentences reflect real life. How are you? Can I help you? I'm just looking, thank you. These are not just phrases from a textbook. These are tools you can use today at a store, on a phone call, in a conversation with a friend. Every time you practice one, you're preparing yourself to succeed in real-life situations. When you speak full sentences out loud, your tongue begins to remember the rhythm. Your mouth learns where to pause, how to stress words, how to move from one sound to the next. It's like learning a song. You don't memorize one note at a time. You sing the whole line, and with time you sing it with feeling. That's why daily speaking practice with practical sentences is so effective. Not only do you learn what to say, you learn how to say it clearly, confidently, naturally. So don't waste too much time memorizing long vocabulary lists. Instead, focus on practicing useful sentences that match your daily life. Because when you train with real sentences, you speak with real confidence. Shall I move on to the fifth insight? Use your mirror like a coach. You don't need a classroom to learn how to speak better English. You don't even need a partner at first. One of your most powerful tools is already in your home, your mirror. That simple piece of glass can become your coach, your stage, and your classroom all in one. When you speak in front of a mirror, something changes. You see yourself, you hear yourself, you become more aware, not just of the words you're saying, but of how you're saying them. Are you mumbling? Are your lips moving fully? Are you confident or hesitant? A mirror gives you instant feedback without judgment. Practicing in front of a mirror builds self-awareness. It teaches your mouth how to shape the words. English uses sounds that may not exist in your native language, like thee or v. These require practice, not just once, over and over, and the mirror helps you check if your tongue and lips are in the right place. It also builds confidence. The more you speak in front of your reflection, the more comfortable you become with your voice. You train not just your speech muscles, but your self-belief. You stop being shy. You stop hiding. You start owning your words. Many great speakers, even actors, use the mirror to rehearse lines. Why? Because it helps them feel the moment, see the emotion, shape the delivery. You can do the same with English. Choose one sentence. Say it with curiosity. Then try it with excitement. Then say it with calm confidence. You're not just training words, you're training expression. And over time, what feels awkward at first will begin to feel natural, comfortable, even powerful. So if you're serious about training your mouth to speak English, make the mirror your daily companion. It's not just a piece of glass, it's a window into your growth. Would you like me to continue with the sixth insight? Repeat, repeat, and repeat again. Repetition is not boring. It's how your brain learns to speak automatically. Think about how children learn their first language. They don't study grammar rules or vocabulary charts. They hear the same words again and again. They say the same phrases again and again, and eventually they speak without thinking. That's the secret of fluency, repetition with purpose. When you repeat an English sentence 5, 10, even 20 times, you're doing something powerful. You're moving that sentence from your memory to your muscle. Your tongue starts to remember the path. Your lips start to move smoothly. The sentence stops being something you have to recall and becomes something you can say without effort. But here's the key. Don't repeat like a robot. Repeat with emotion, with rhythm, with energy. If you're practicing, I'll call you back in 5 minutes. Say it like you mean it. Say it fast. Say it slow. Say it while walking around the room. Each repetition builds comfort, confidence, and clarity. And if you can, record yourself. Listen back. Notice the progress from your first try to your 10th. This builds motivation. You realize, wow, I'm improving. That little boost keeps you going. Repetition is not about perfection, it's about progress. Some of the world's best speakers, singers, and performers all use repetition to master their craft. You're no different. If you want to train your mouth to speak English naturally, then repetition is your gym. Every sentence you repeat is like a push-up for your speech muscles. So choose short, useful phrases and repeat them daily. Not once, not twice, many times, until your mouth stops thinking and just speaks. Would you like to move on to the 7th insight? Shadow native speakers like an echo. Imagine standing behind someone fluent in English, hearing them speak, and repeating their exact words right after them. Same tone, same rhythm, same speed. That's called shadowing. It's one of the fastest, most powerful ways to train your mouth to speak English like a natural speaker. Why does it work so well? Because it forces your mouth to copy real English in real time. You're not reading from a book. You're not slowly thinking through every word. You're imitating the music of the language, the rise and fall, the pauses, the linking of words. English is not just about words, it's about flow. Native speakers don't say want to slowly, they say wanna. They don't separate every word, they blend them together. Did you eat yet becomes did ya eat yet. These are the natural patterns your brain can only learn by hearing and echoing. So, how do you do it? Pick a short video clip, podcast, or movie scene spoken by a native English speaker. Play just one sentence. Listen closely. Then play it again and immediately repeat it out loud, copying everything, not just the words, but the feeling behind the words. Then do it again and again, until it starts to feel natural in your own mouth. Shadowing also improves your listening. You begin to hear things you never noticed before, like intonation, emotion, and the way certain sounds disappear or change depending on the sentence. These are the secrets of real spoken English, the kind textbooks don't teach. At first, it will feel hard. You might fall behind. You might stumble. That's okay. Keep going. Your brain will catch up. Your mouth will get faster. And one day, you'll hear a native speaker say something, and you'll find yourself saying it right back, naturally, confidently, without even trying. Would you like to continue with the 8th insight? Use everyday objects to speak English aloud. You don't need a classroom, a teacher, or even a partner to practice English. You just need your surroundings. Right now, wherever you are, you're surrounded by powerful learning tools. A mirror, a cup, a pen, a door, your hands. All of these can help you train your brain and your mouth to speak English fluently. Here's how. Start naming things around you in English. This is a chair. The chair is brown. I sit on the chair. Then go further. I'm sitting now. I'm drinking tea. The tea is hot. You're turning objects into practice and training your brain to describe what's real, not just memorize words. This practice builds two things, vocabulary and fluency. You learn the names of things you actually use, and you build sentences around your real daily life. That's what makes language stick. It's not abstract anymore. It's connected to your world. And if you want to take it to the next level, speak to yourself while doing things. While brushing your teeth, say, I'm brushing my teeth now. I brush my teeth every morning. While cooking, I'm cutting the onion. The oil is hot. I'm making rice. These simple habits turn your whole day into a speaking lesson. Don't worry if it feels silly at first. No one is watching. You're not performing. You're practicing. And this kind of practice rewires your brain. It turns English into something you live, not just something you study. Your home, your body, your actions, they all become your language gym. And every time you speak, even if it's just to yourself, you are training your mouth to speak English naturally and confidently. Would you like to move on to the final insight? Record yourself and listen back. One of the most overlooked but incredibly effective ways to improve your spoken English is by recording your own voice. Yes, it might feel strange at first. No one really likes hearing how they sound, but if you can push past that discomfort, you'll discover one of the most powerful tools for self-correction and confidence building. When you speak English in your head, everything feels smooth. But when you actually say it out loud, that's when the truth shows up. Did your mouth move the way it should? Did your sentence make sense? Was your pronunciation clear? When you record yourself, you give your brain the chance to observe and improve, like an athlete watching game footage. Start simple. Read a short paragraph or speak a few sentences about your day. Then play it back. Listen carefully. You'll start to hear small mistakes, missing words, or where your voice lacked energy. Don't criticize yourself. Learn from yourself. Then try again. Speak it better. Speak it stronger. Record again. Over time, you'll begin to notice progress. You'll hear your pronunciation getting clearer, your rhythm more natural, your confidence more alive. This process of feedback is something even actors and public speakers use, because it works. And here's the bonus. When you listen to your own English and hear growth, it motivates you. You realize, yes, I can speak English, and I'm getting better every day. That belief alone can push you forward faster than any textbook ever could. So turn your phone into a language mirror. Let your own voice become your teacher. And remember, if you keep speaking, keep listening, and keep growing, you will train your mouth to speak English fluently and fearlessly.